If you've been keeping up with my videos, you know that I moved not only out of my house but also out of state. And in today's video, I want to share with you my new closet setup, how I organize it to make it more practical. I am not a morning person, yet I have to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning to make it to work on time. And anything I can do to make that getting ready time at a minimum is a plus. I already brought all the stuff that goes inside this closet, though those coats might be put away in a different room. I'm going to start with the shoes so I can have some floor space, and I'm gonna put them in here. This shoe rack was only 3 tiers. I don't know if you can see where the top one joins the bottom one. This top one was in the front of the living room, and I want to do something different for that space now, and I needed more space for my shoes. All right, let's do this. Shoes are nice and organized. I did have to put some of them in this side of the closet, one because they did not fit on the shoe rack, but also I didn't care to display those, and so those might be a little hidden with the clothes I'm gonna hang from this rail, but I think they'll be fine. I will still be able to see them and get to them, and so I don't mind having those in there. I also put my least worn shoes on the other side of the closet. Those will be for sure hidden by the door, but those I rarely wear. They are for the snow, and so we don't get a whole lot of snow where I live, and even when we do, then I know where to go to get them, but they're not like an everyday wear shoe. It's a different day. I am fighting a cold right now, so hopefully my raspy voice does not bother you as much. The layout of this closet is very similar to the one we used to have in Texas. The only difference is that we have 2 closets instead of 1 to share. I think just having 1 would have been enough for the 2 of us, but we got 2, and so we are using them. My plan is to keep the shoe where they are. I think that's the best place, especially given the taller shoe rack. I don't think it'll fit anywhere else. And then on the left side of the closet, I want to put my tops, and then on the right side, I want to put my bottoms. That's for the bottom shelf. And then the shoes underneath it. We each have a laundry basket, and then what we do is when it's time to do laundry, I combine them too, and I take them out to the garage, which is where we have our laundry machines. And then on the bottom rack, I want to put my sweaters on the left and then my denims on the right. On the top rack on the left, I want to keep my bags there, just a little more organized. And then wicker baskets, my motorcycle helmet, I think I'm going to keep it there. I think that's the best place to keep it, nice and safe. And then more wicker baskets, and those are some of my off-season shoes. I did end up moving all my heaviest outerwear to my office. That's how I had them in my previous 2 homes. I couldn't make it work here if I really had to, but I do have the extra space, and so I moved them there. I also like how they look hanging from the rack, and so I just put them in there and kept everything else in here. I don't like hanging my sweaters, especially if they're made in wool or cashmere materials. I do have this wool sweater that I almost ruined because it was hanging for a while. I wasn't wearing it because it was off season, and when I went back to get it, it had this deep dent and it was like sticking out from the hanger. And thankfully I was able to wash it and kind of repair it, but it still had the distress on the shoulders from the weight that was pulling. So now I do fold most of my sweaters, and the ones that I do hang, I have a specific way of doing it, which I learned from Pinterest, and I'll show you now. These belts, I did have them like that in my previous house, and so I think I'm gonna keep them the same way, hanging next to my bottoms. I might change them later on, but for now I think that's the best place for them. These wicker baskets I really like because they're so practical. They don't look as big as they are. They can fit a whole lot, and they look nicely up there. I got them over a year ago when I was living in Michigan, and that's where I keep my miscellaneous stuff, so my accessories like hats, gloves, and things like that. And so I do plan on keeping them. I did have to get a ladder to reach to them. I have been wanting to or needing to get one since my last closet, and I just didn't want to settle for one because I couldn't find one that I really liked until now. So I did get it, so I will show you in a little bit. But yeah, I got a ladder, and now it's just so much easier to just step on it and just get to those baskets every time I need them, because I do have my gloves and hats which I've been using lately, and so I need access to those almost on a daily basis. I decided that I want to do a work capsule wardrobe. I recently went back to work outside of my home, and I feel like I have a completely different style when it comes to going to work or staying at home, or even when I live in the house but it's not for work. So I'm gonna go through my closet and do some decluttering. Some will go to my Poshmark for sale, some will go to donations, and some to my family members. But there are some that still want to keep, but they're a little too preppy for my everyday style, and so I want to wear those to work. So I want to move those clothes to my closet in my office, and when I get dressed in the morning I just go and pick my outfit from the office and get dressed. But I think it will work because that's how I used to dress when I used to have a work outside of home. It's a little more preppy, more office-ish. Though it's still within my style, I'm not one to dress head to toe in a suit, regardless of, you know, that dress code, which I do have a very business casual dress code in all the jobs that I've had, and so this one is no different. And so I think it will work just perfect, styling my more preppy tops with, you know, like semi-casual bottoms and the other way around, and just keeping with my style, but it's still differentiating my clothes that I wear to work versus my clothes that I wear when I'm not at work. It won't be a whole lot of clothes because I don't think I have a lot of clothes to begin with, but I think it'll be enough to carry me through a week, and I don't mind repeating outfits, you know, the following week, but just get enough to get me to a week worth of laundry. And then I can always do laundry on the weekends. But yeah, let's do that. I'm finally able to say that I have a nice and organized closet. It felt like it took forever, though it only took a couple of days, but nonetheless, I'm so glad it's done. And so I wanted to give you a little quick tour of it. The layout stays the same as I showed you earlier, where I have my shoes in this joint racks, and then above it I have my bags, just a little more organized than before. And right below my bags, in the same wall, I have this vintage picture frame which we found at one of our local antique malls, and I thought it was really fitting for this room because it has these two very fashionable people in it. And the model of the car is one of my favorite model for cars. I'm not a car person, Kyle is, and so I leave that to him, but it'll be nice to own eventually an older car that looks like that. That would be amazing. These two hats are two of my most worn hats. One is more for the cooler months, so the one is more for the warmer months, and so I thought it would look cool if I hang it next to the picture frame. The rest is the same. On the right top rack, I have my wicker basket, which I have for a while now, and I keep my miscellaneous stuff like my scarf, my hats, my gloves, and things like that, and my off-season shoes. And then I have my light jackets underneath them, and then my sweaters and my jeans. On the left side of the closet, I have my tops, and on the right side I have my bottoms, my laundry basket of course, and in each side of it I have those shoes that again I don't care to display because I don't really wear them on a daily basis. Behind the door I have this hook that Kyle installed for me, and
I have this robe that I wear daily right before I get ready in the mornings, and then this hat that I don't know where I want to put it yet because I do wear it often. At first I told him that I want it behind the door, but what I meant was on the wall behind the door, and so there was a miscommunication there, so he put it in there. But actually I ended up liking it more on the door than on this wall, because I think if I had hung my bulky robe in there, it would just look too bulky next to this lightweight jacket. It doesn't look too bad, and this stays behind the door at all times, so when you have the door even halfway closed, you still don't see it. The hook is one of those plastic adhesive hook that you put in a wall, or in this case a door, and so there's no nail anything to it. When you take it off, the paint might come off, but if that's the case, then we just go over with a little white paint. But we don't want to get anything too permanent for this house because we are renting and we don't even know we're gonna stay here for the whole year. My stool, which I talked about it earlier, I did end up buying it. It was a pretty penny, but I really do like it. It's this nice and bright orange, but because it is in this clear acrylic material, it doesn't really show like too bright, and everything in this closet is kind of neutral, and so it blends in really nicely. Even with the picture frame, it has some orange tone to it, and orange is one of my favorite accent colors. I cannot give you a proper review because I just got it. I literally got it off the box a couple days ago, and so I did step on it to organize my bags, and I think the floor is a little slippery because it felt a little slippery, and so I might add a rock to the floor later on. But other than that, it feels super steady. It is very aesthetically pleasing. I think it brings a nice look to the closet, and overall I'm really pleasant with it. I'm now going to go through my things and declutter some stuff. I do plan on filming it, so stay tuned for that one. After that, I do have a couple of pieces that I ordered. They are new in, and so I'm gonna try it on and also film that. And so I hope you found this video helpful or at least entertaining. If you did, just give it a thumbs up, as it does help support my small channel. If you watch my videos and you like them and you haven't subscribed, make sure you are subscribed, and I hope to see you very soon.